Hello, everybody. I know I'm late. Excuse me. I am late because I am working on a wonderful cold that I've gotten from my husband. Happy Valentine's Day to you. My sweet friend took me out for some soup. I don't know, is it pho or pho? I'm not sure. And I loaded it with hot sauce to help clear stuff up. I still sound a little bit nasally and stuff, but you know what? We're still going to have fun because you can still paint and be sick a little bit. So what I want to play with today is I had an idea. I want to do some water-soluble stuff. I'm working in my Strathmore watercolor journal again. And I have an idea in my head. I'm not sure if that idea will work. I have a clean page. Go right here. I think I'm trying to decide if I should schedule these things. Let me know if I should schedule things in advance, if it would help you come around. I know somebody just came in to watch. Isn't this the cutest thing ever? His lips. So what I want to do, and this is what is in my head. I'm not sure where my Stabilo all went. I'm going to start with sketching with my generals, and I want to do kind of like a muted thing. I have my oh, cheese and rice. Where's my water? Oh. I have my water-soluble crayons. I have the Lyra Aquapack, and then I have my Neocolors. My watercolor markers are on hand. And I could possibly grab my gelatos too. They're right behind me. So if I'm feeling that, I might do that too. But I really want to start with a nice dark background, or with a sketch, and do the wash with the blacks and the grays is what's in my head. And I'd like to do something a little bit Valentine-y. So I'm thinking it's mostly going to be in this black and some pinks and reds. So I actually kind of have a plan today, which isn't my norm. So how exciting is that? I'll probably be using this brush here. This is my favorite for watercolors. Again, I apologize if I'm sniffling. And my voice is quite masculine today. But yeah, so we'll see if the picture that's in my mind actually ends up on the page. We'll see. So I'm going to start with a light sketch, because even a light sketch will transfer when you add the water, but you can kind of move it a little bit more. I'm unsure if you can see this light sketch. Hold on, let me see if you can see this. Go to my other window. And you can't hardly. But I hate to change the, oh, let's see. I hate changing it too much because then sometimes the color gets wonky. There, that might be, oh, but now my hand is weird looking. Well, we'll just leave it like that. If it really bothers you, comment in the comments here and let me know. I don't know why I have such a hard time with the color on this. Oh, hi, Sherry. How are you? All right, so I'm just doing a light sketch, and I'm just going to do the light sketch for her whole body and stuff. It's going to be pretty simple. It's not going to, well, it could end up being more detailed because, you know, I like to keep these about an hour, so. And I know everybody's seen them, the girl holding the heart in her hands, and that's kind of what I'm going to do too. So I got to figure out the spacing and stuff. So that's just what I'm doing. I just have a very simple round body because she's going to be wearing a dress, so it'll go out a little bit. And Kitty, don't you step on my keyboard. There, I think I got. Let's do some puff sleeves. And then after I get the basic shape, I'll go in with a darker line to really get it going. I think everybody's seen these figures. I don't know who started it the first time, but just the hand holding the heart, you know. I just thought it was suitable for Valentine's Day. I know I said Valentine's and it's Valentine's. I just like it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so my husband has had this lovely cold now for about a week. And I thought I had it earlier. No, I just had the start of it. But whew, thank goodness for it's we had the faux soup. It was so good. Aw, thank you for taking a break from packing to see me. I appreciate that. I hope all is going well with your packing. And you, when moving, always make sure a box with all the supplies that you love to use the most is very easily accessed, because once you get to the new house, sometimes it just, excuse me, gets too much and you just need to take a time for arting so you don't go crazy. Oh, there, see? She's getting cute. And see, I just did straight lines. I don't know if you can see it very well. I did straight lines for her legs, and then I just go in and I can add the detail. And I don't like that leg. And for me, the hardest mindset when I'm doing feet, I don't know why. I always feel like at the kneecap it should go out, so I have to actually think about how at the kneecap it goes in. It's just one of those weird things. She'll be wearing sandals, I think. There. So I got my basics down. And then what I like to do with this is, because I just have the sketch, I'm going to grab my brush and wet down these lines. And when they're wetted down, you can kind of finagle and move some of the pencil and stuff around. Now I got to think, is this the water I was drinking? It's cold. The worst that would happen is I drank a little bit of paint, like it would be the first time. Okay, so this is, so I made a mistake and I have my drinking water and my paint water in the same type of glass. Don't do that. Yep. I've moved so many times, I know. Have my art supplies at the top, because sometimes you just need to art. And then I'm just going to wet this down. And then also, my favorite for having go-to travel supplies is I have some gesso. And then I like to either have some watercolor markers or like some like gelatos or water-soluble crayons. And that way, if you color with the crayons, you can activate the color within those with the gesso. And it looks like a painting, but you don't have as many supplies around. So that's like a fun thing I like. I don't know if that helps you or not, but that's what I like to do. I don't know if you can hear the neighbor's dog barking over there. It is a gorgeous day here this morning. This morning, instead of going straight to the dog park, I wish I would have taken pictures. The sunrise was gorgeous. I just kind of stood in my driveway watching the sunrise. My dog wasn't happy because he wanted to get to the park, but I loved it. It was gorgeous. Oh, the pencil that I'm using, you could use this one right here is the General Scriball. It is my favorite because of the color. It's more of a gray than a black, and it's a dark gray. You could use, if you like the black, you could use the the cheese and biscuits, I'll remember in a minute. If you want a lighter color, I also like using the Faber-Castell Aquarelle pencils, and that's a water-soluble graphite as well. But the other one is the Stabilo All. Stabilo All is really nice. It's really dark black. So I do use it, but I prefer this more gray color. I do use the Stabilo All in some of my mixed media stuff when I want to really have some shadows going. And now all I'm doing right here is kind of, because this, it doesn't dry permanent, you can keep on reactivating it and work on your shadows. Bring some more down on her neck. And then I can make her, let's see. I'm just pulling up color from over here. And we're not worried too much about detail right now. We're just getting some of our shadows in there. So they don't have to be perfect. You can just kind of throw the color or throw these in willy-nilly, because who knows, maybe she's standing behind a tree, so the shadow on her face is kind of weird. You know, don't worry about it. All we're doing is creating the shadows of her features. I'm getting the shadow kind of below her cheekbone a little bit. Actually, I could probably zoom in for you. Sorry about that. Let me zoom in so you can really see. Oh, I need to go to another window to make sure you can see. And let me fix the focus. There we go. I can bring this over a little bit for you. Let's see. This will take me a second to get right here. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But for some reason, so this is gray, but on my screen, I am seeing like some brown in there, but it's not. I guess that's the best I'm going to get right there. Someday I want to get a decent camera, like a really nice one. This is an HD camera, but when I do the live stuff, it's too it slows everything down, and there'd be a greater delay than there already is. So it helps me keeping it in the lower quality video, kind of keep track and know where I'm at as far as what I said to you a moment ago, you know. So there. So now we have this nice base to go on. I'm going to go in after I find some paper towel. And I'm going to wet some areas and just kind of lift the color up. Because as I use stuff and add like the colors over top of it, some of this dark will show through. And this way, it will be like some nice shadows going on. And I wish I wouldn't have gone so hard with the pencil right here. But that's okay. Oh, that's weird. I can, if somebody puts in a message and takes it back, like Sherry, you wrote something and you took it out, it tells me that you retracted a message. I'm learning something new every day. Yeah, so I'm just pulling color out of there. And now, oops. Oh, actually, I kind of smeared that, but I like it. Happy accident. Look at that. It looks like shadows. So I have this, it's a ceramic tile. And I really like the aqua markers. Oh, speaking of aqua markers. So Sunday, I went with my friend Shannon, who comes to play with me. We went to Tuesday morning, and you can't find the Letraset aqua markers anywhere. But at Tuesday morning, we found some there, and they were $5 for 5. So it was basically $1 a piece, which that's cheaper than they used to be. So go hit your Tuesday morning, you might be able to find some. So what I like to do with these is I'll put my color down on this tile. Oh, somebody's at my door. Hold on, I'm so sorry. Coming. Oh, cheese and rice. I'm recording live right now. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Our pool gal. All right, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. First, I leave you hanging on Sunday when my friend came, and now I am interrupted. We have a pool that needs some work, and the pool lady, she had some issues, and it's totally understandable. Life happens. And she wasn't able to come by, and she forgot to give me a heads up. Okay, so what I did is I just took this and scribbled on here to lay down my color. And now with a watery brush, I'm just activating that color. And I'm actually going to pick up a little bit more water. And my dog might start whining in a minute because they're in the backyard. And I'm just doing like color washes. I don't want bold color right now. I might add it later. And you can really move the color around the way you want. I'm going to add some on her cheeks. Now I'm all out of breath. And I feel bad because they brought her little girl with, and she's adorable, and I love kids, and normally I would stop and play. All right, I think I'm going to have to let the dog out because he's going to start whining because he loves them. Always trust your dog. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me let him out. Thank you. All right. So with this marker, I like that with the watercolor palette, you can pull the color directly out of the palette, but with this, I can kind of see on my ceramic tile what color exactly is going to go on there and what it'll look like. So it gives you a little bit more control over watercolor than you would normally get. So it's nice to have control over an uncontrollable medium, you know? Hi, Kathy. How are you? Are you guys okay with the color? Are you seeing it okay? now I'm grabbing, see, I don't know if the Winsor Newton, if they're using the same color names for their watercolor markers, but they look so much the same. It has to be, I'm thinking it has to be the same thing. Now I'm taking the rose blush and I'm just kind of go over some more of these because these colors layer really nice. I'm just using this as like a shadow point, and that's still pretty wet. And these are nice too because they also reactivate with water. So I'm using this around the hair. I may cheat and use a white marker for the eyes so I don't have to avoid the eye area. I do want to get some, is it gouache or gouache? I don't know how you say it. Just because you can use them with the watercolors and everything, but they're more solid. Opaque, that's the word I wanted. They're more opaque. See, and I'm kind of rubbing the pencil out of there. And if you keep on wiping your paintbrush, you won't transfer much of it. Well, I wanted her to be a cutie girl, but she's actually ended up with more of an adult face, but I might be able to fix that. Excuse me. Part of the reason, too, that I ran so fast for the door is my... Oh, happy Valentine's Day to you, Sherry. For Valentine's Day. For Christmas, my sister and brother-in-law, they signed us up for the Beer of the Month Club. So I thought it might be our beer delivery because it usually comes around the 15th. My dog's barking. Yeah, so I was hoping it was beer, but, you know, a clean pool, too. Yes, I am a lover of craft beers. They are too yummy for words. I'm not a beer snob. Like, I don't even know the names of the stuff I like. I have to ask my husband, is this one I like? I know I don't like heavy hops. But, oh, that's why she looks so adult, because I have more pronounced cheekbones. Her face isn't very round. But that's all right. She'll still be cute. I don't know if this is watercolor. Sometimes I use my alcohol inks on this too. Yeah, that's alcohol ink because it won't reactivate. Excuse me. Oh. And now I need to find a lilac. There it is. I like to shadow my pinks with a little bit of purple. I think that's normal, isn't it? And I really like layering with watercolors. The trick is, which is a trick that I still struggle with, is not to have it too wet. Because otherwise all you'll do is kind of make mud. But if you kind of let it dry in between each layer and make it not too watery, it layers up really nice and you can actually see the layers. I'm actually going to grab, do I want red? Yeah, let's do it. Worst that can happen is we don't like it. Let's see. Is gouache? Oh, my dog wants in. I'm so sorry. I'm getting interrupted left and right. I've also heard gouache. Gouache like rhymes with squash. So I don't know what it is. Ugh. Yes, and they are like watercolors, but not as transparent. They are nice. I've played with some. I don't own a set, but there's some things I strive to own. See, and again, see how dark that is? I keep on adding water until I get the tone I want. But again, not a lot. I don't know if you can see. My hand barely is wetted from the water in my brush. And then I'm going to use that for her lips too. No, maybe we could make her into a little angel. So that might be cute. But I don't know. We'll see. And maybe I shouldn't have added that there. You can kind of blend it out with some water. And I don't know if you can see this, but I have a habit when I do watercolors, I want to have water in my brush, but not everywhere. So I'll rinse out my brush and I'll take my hand and just squeeze the excess out like that, and it ends up in my hand. For me, that seems to work. For others, not so much. And I think I want to add a little bit more to her lips. I'm taking the full basic pigment with me. And the thing I like about these brushes is you can use this. Look at how fine I'm using this tip. It's just really nice. As long as you take care of these watercolor brushes, these are the only ones. I have a few of these I only use for watercolors. I won't use them for acrylics. I tend to buy brushes that work across the board just because, and I usually buy cheap too, because as much as I love my brushes, I don't really take care of them as well as I should. I know people who have had brushes for like 10, 20 years. I think my oldest brush might be that old, but it's probably a watercolor brush. Oh no, Kathy. So you have to go, your playtime is only when he's in the shower today? And then you have to go to packing? I think I'm going to put little wings on her when I get going. We'll try it. All right, now I got to do her eyes. We are going to start with a brown in case I mess up the lines too much. It'll be easier to blend into the skin tone. I'm not sure if I'll use black at all. And I'm also going to use brown for the actual eyes because I usually like to do a color under the actual eye color that's different from the eye color. I don't know if that makes sense. It just seems to add a little bit of depth when I actually add the eye color in. Oh, she's cute. You guys, look who you helped make come out. Actually, I'll use some of this brown here. And under her nose as well. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have done the nostril because that ended up kind of big. That's all right. She's cute. And we'll give her some brown hair. See, and look at how handy these are for traveling around. Have a good day, Kathy. I don't know how long ago you said goodbye, but I know my beer didn't come in. Yeah, the Beer of the Month Club. It's really neat. I mean, it's like beer from different breweries around the country. And it's kind of neat because my husband and I have lived in a lot of places, and we actually ended up getting some beers that we liked when we lived in Massachusetts in our Beer of the Month Club. I think after our Christmas present is done, we might have to save up and do that on our own. Because it's nice to get a case of beer in the mail. Who else, you know? One time I wasn't home when it got delivered, and our neighbor ended up getting it. And I was joking with him. I'm like, you better not open that. And he got offended, like, why would I open it? And I'm like, well, it was beer. You know, I don't want you to steal my beer. I think some people just don't get my sense of humor. And now I'm just going in with the brown and kind of adding it full strength around the shadows. I want to get some color difference between her hair and her skin. Just so you can really see the outline, you know. Sorry, I'm kind of half listening to them outside. I'm so glad that I'm sad that Kathy had to go, but I like it when Kathy and Sherry, you guys are here because you always talk to me. The other people are just talking. I'm kind of the same way though too. And I'm really layering it here because I'm afraid if I add too much color at once, it'll end up too dark. Because like I told you, I'm looking for more of a washy look. I'm not looking for anything really bold. So that's what I'm going for right now. My dog might bark in a little bit because he hates to see them leave because he loves them. Oh my goodness. You ever get that cold where your nose feels stuffed, but it won't even run? Yeah, lots of fun. I'm thinking I might. I just realized that I wanted her hair right to start there. I'm thinking I'm just for some, not really realism or whatever, but I like to add some greens and some purples and blend them into colors, just so you have like a little bit of variance in color. Is that the right word I'm thinking of? Ever since I saw, I don't know who it was a video on Facebook that somebody put up. This guy did this beautiful colored pencil drawing of a face. It was a portrait, a beautiful portrait. And his base layer on this person's skin was basically and mostly greens. And then when he added the color on top of it, you could still kind of see the greens, but it made the skin tone look so beautiful. The trick is with watercolor, it'll blend together. So I just do so lightly and I'll kind of blend some of the colors in. See, you can't really tell it's green unless you're really paying attention for it. So I'm just kind of using it in the shadow areas. Maybe on her top lip to make it a little bit darker. And underneath her nose. Because I'm using more of a yellow-green, it'll look kind of brown in some of these reds and pinks I have, but that's all right. Oh, she's so cute, you guys. I love her. Even if she does have a weird ankle, that's all right. My sister, I'm about to share something. Okay, so first off, I'll state this all started because I was kind of jealous. My sister, I won't say her name because if you see me on Facebook, you might be able to pick her out, has the most beautiful blue eyes. I mean, they're like, I don't know how to, just, they're gorgeous, all right? And she has the light skin and her hair, she does her hair red and it's just fabulous. When we were younger, her hair was more like brown auburn, but I would tease her all the time because she has her daddy's feet and ankles. So she doesn't have like tiny ankles. And well, when I was younger, I did. So I would tease her. I'm like, no. And she'd say something. Well, I have pretty blue eyes. I'm like, well, no, what? At least I have ankles. So just, it's like now a joke, you know, because now I'm so chubby, I don't have much ankles either. At least she has an excuse. There. Let's see. We'll do, what color should we make the eyes? You know what? Since I'm talking about my sister, we will do blue eyes. Like, her eyes are like this. They're just gorgeous. And then I'm going to add just a tinge of the little bit darker right there. Tinge, is that a word? I don't even know if I've ever said that word before. A tinge. I'm thinking I might have been a little bit more peppy if I would have taken some cold medicine beforehand. I mean, let's be realistic. Most cold medicine, it's like having a shot of booze. It just makes it feel better for not feeling very good. There. I'm going to grab a little bit of that blue and bring it down here in the shadow in her nose, the bottom of her top lip, a little bit in the shadow. And a little bit here. The shadow like at the temple. think they already left. I feel bad because I like talking to my pool people. They're just genuine, nice people. And those are hard to come by these days. Okay, I need some help, guys. What color should her dress be? I was hoping I'd see something in here. Oh, Sherry's. Oh. Oh, it is Sweeties. Okay, I'm getting back on the thing. I confused. Sorry, Sherry. I was thinking silly, thinking that Kathy was the one packing. Okay. You know what? I could do a blue to match her eyes. Let's do that. I'll make it a light wash. When I did the sketch right here, I kind of liked how these lines overlapped and added some cool dimension to her dress. And I'm doing this pretty wet. I don't know if you can see the drips right here. I'm just putting it where I think, you know, random shadows and stuff might be, the way it might hang. I might have to grab some more color. To be a shadow underneath the heart. Also, something I found too, if you're adding more color to a palette like this, or, you know, ceramic tile like this, try not to add the color to a puddle of water, because then you get more, like if you go to draw with it, you'll get like inconsistent markings and stuff like that from the marker. It'll just help you out a little bit. So try to dry up any water before you actually go in with the marker. I've been on a kick with puff sleeves lately. I don't know why. I think it's my love of Anne of Green Gables and her puff sleeves. So the reason why I'm going around like some of my shadow areas first, because if you do the light, well, this is just me. I tried taking some classes in watercolor, and some of the ways they were telling me to do things weren't the way I would do them, and I was told that was the wrong way to do it, but I didn't like the outcome. Even after practice and practice, I really did try. I didn't like the outcome of the way I was told to do things. So when I do some of this stuff, you might read a book and they'll say never do this, but I do it, you know. But there are no wrong ways to do art. So if you come up with a way that gets the outcome you like, go for it. But what I'm doing basically is with a light mark, I'm just adding these darker blues in here, because when I go over with my light wash of water and a little bit of color, those dark areas will stay there, but then I'll still get a lighter mark on top of it. And I'm half brain dead today. I keep on realizing I'm stammering because I'm losing my words. Oh, I really like how this dress looks. That's really cute. I'm almost wishing I would have done a gather at the waist, because I'm liking the way my shadows are turning out today. I've actually worked on a piece where I just liked how I was doing something that day, so I changed everything just to make it so I could keep on using that technique through the whole piece. See, and I add that over, and those darker spots kind of stay. I could have done an apron. Now I'm gonna like go in and like really activate some of that pencil just to soften those lines a little bit. They probably won't too much. Just because I already got them wet once and kind of dug them in. Oh, she's cute. All right, let's get... Yeah, and here's something. I never use these. I don't know if they'll do this with the Winsor Newton, but they come with a blender. But with a watercolor marker, I never understood why you would need a blender unless you weren't carrying any water at all. I don't know. All right, so this is the black, and I'm only doing that much of the black because I don't want to pick up too much. So this is pretty touch dry, okay? There's no, I can feel the damp, but there's no drips of water coming because I want heavy control over this for her pupils. You know what? I think I'll put in some eyelashes too because I got some good control going today. Some days my hand shakes really bad from an injury. And I don't do a lot of fine line stuff because of that. A lot of times if you see some of my videos that are sped up, the reason why I do like palette knife work or I decide to finger paint is because the control on my hand isn't very good that day. And I just want to create. Claudine is saying hi and bye. Aw, I'm sorry I didn't see you until you were going away. I wish I had some sort of notification sound that you guys couldn't hear in the video every time somebody put a message up. Because I sit here and babble to myself and I forget to look up. Look at that little mark just made her smiling. I like that. Oh, I'm going to have to try that again sometime. Oh, she's got a sweet smile now. Let me see if I can zoom in again. See if you guys can see it. Let's see. I like her sweet smile now. Oops. That would have sucked. I might have to... See, there we go. Every time I zoom in or anything like that, I have to mess with the color a little bit so you can see it. There. Well, Claudine, if you watch this later, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Lets me know that you love me. And I love you right back. Oh, happy Valentine's Day. And I just realized that I kind of covered her collar a little bit. And I'm just going to lift away some color. I'm thinking, she is so flipping cute. I didn't even plan on her to be that cute. I was actually thinking more of, you know, like the stereotype of the cherub face, the really round. But, you know, things don't always work the way I want them to, but sometimes it's still in my favor. I was working on a watercolor piece. It was actually a commission, probably about 2 years ago. And you see how I always lift paint up like that? I wasn't thinking. I just grabbed. Fortunately, I hadn't had much done. It was like an 8 by 10, and I just had like the wash, the color wash in the background, and then I had done some small detail on a tree over here. Well, I went to dab, and I had grabbed a paper towel that had Delusions on it, which is water soluble. When I dabbed down, I put like a mess of bright yellow green right in the blue sky. Oops. But I figured gave me practice at landscapes. I'm almost thinking, no, I'm going to add more of the red to the heart. I think I want the heart to be more bold. And if you notice how you can't see your hands? Yeah, I can do hands. I just don't care to. Well, thank you, Sherry. If I did wings, I should have made it go with her hair right there. Let's just do some simple stuff in the background. I'm going to do, let's just do some playtime. So I like to do clouds like this. We'll do like a easy sky. I'm just going to wet it down right here. And then I'm going to bring in my blue. And I really like this blue and that other blue mixed together. And I guess I was thinking I would grab more water solubles, but I think it's just going to be these markers. I'm not feeling the want to go in with anything else. I hope that's okay with you. And I'm picking up the color and it's really wet, all right? Really wet. Because my problem with clouds and skies, when I do clouds, I try to control them so much, unless it's like a specific cloud that I took a picture of. Like, it's hard for me to get the natural flow because I always end up getting them too symmetrical and it just doesn't look right. And, you know, so this makes me have loose, fluffy clouds because it's so wet that the color spreads by itself and makes these nice highlights and shadows. Without even having to try. And then sometimes I'll go back in with my blue again and just define the shadows and really make them stand out. Actually, I can go over here because that's alcohol ink. That's a nice thing. You can go, yeah. I can go right over the alcohol ink with my marker. Oop, maybe that that color was not alcohol ink. That's all right. There can be a little bit of green in the sky. Well, actually, we'll work in some trees. You saw how I used my thing for a palette, so I won't worry about that being in the shot too much. And now we're basically going to do the same thing with these trees. I'm going to use a darker green. I'm just laying my color down. So I have this green, and then I'm going to go in with this even darker green as well. So I don't know if you can see it. See, I got 2 tones of green right there. And I'm going to pick up, oh, first I'm going to make my shapes with the trees. I'm going to pick up mostly the light color and just a touch of the dark and just tap it in. Just going to add some more water. And every time you pick up the way I like this is you fill up your brush with the light color with just a tap of the dark. Every time you do it, you're not going to get the same amount of dark in your brush. So I don't try to make it exact because it adds more dimension and actually nature, because nature is not exact. I mean, like one tree can have 20 shades of green on it, you know? So you never grab exactly the same tap of the other color. I am going to go in with more of the dark here and just add taps in just for like random shadows. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but because it was so wet, there are some areas that actually look white. And just on the outsides of those, I'm adding taps of the dark green. In the front, I'm just going to add some dark green. And it'll just all kind of feather out. It's like when you're daydreaming and you just see blurs of color everywhere. There, see, it's just like, it's nothing fancy. You could always go in later and add more detail for your trees and stuff. And now I'm just going to do, my brush isn't totally clean. It still has green in it. I just wanted to pick up some more water. And basically now, look at, I'm picking up, because I have mostly blues and browns and stuff, I'm picking up everything but the red in here. I'm just going to go back and forth over my page. Look at that. Well, she is cute. I might actually have to scan her. What do you guys think? Holy crud. I'm getting pretty good at this timing. It's been 59 minutes. I try to aim for an hour, and I have an hour. So I'm going to dry off this spot right here. So this is just watercolor markers. I'm wondering, somebody told me that the Tombow are also watercolors. So I'm not sure if they'll work the same way as this, but if it's watercolor markers or water soluble markers, it should do the same thing. And the ceramic tile is just a wonderful tool. Actually, let me add her shadow right here. There. I mean, just to have that nearby. I like to carry these around and a water pen, and it's just great fun, you know? Oh, and then, you know what? Because I think this is still wet, we can just add some like sticks in here, and it'll kind of feather out, but it'll keep the form of the trunks and stuff. If we want to add a big trunk in there, we can. Kind of smoosh it a little bit out. And then with the, you know, you can do so much with these. They're fabulous. I thought I was done. Anybody who does art knows sometimes you think you're done and you're actually not. As long as you have a light hand, like I am using this directly on the paper, but I'm using a very light hand when I place the color down. If you push hard, it's going to really saturate the paper, but if you do just like nice little wispy stuff, you know, it doesn't saturate as much. There. I think I am done. I am going to put today's date on it. 2/14/17. Oops. And then just because I like it, I'm going to go like this and put a little wash over it. Okay. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm glad you could come and play with me. If you have any other ideas for things you'd like me to try, I will be happy to try them. If you're not subscribed, please like, share, subscribe. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure. I want to do some pastels this week. I might pick those up tomorrow. So if you want to see a face in pastels, that is what is up probably for tomorrow. I'll put up a notification, a scheduled time for tomorrow, and I'll let you know what it's going to be. Okay? Big hugs, mushy stuff. Mwah, 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 mwah. And I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Sherry. Big hugs and mushy stuff to you. Bye. And I always say bye and I forget to get everything ready to say bye. Okay. Now I'm heading out. Bye, guys. Hope your day is wonderful. Happy Heart Day to you.